So listen. No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there. It was no. Ah, geez. I don't give a shit about that. This proves it once again that you don't know shit. So listen. No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there. It was no. Ah, geez. I don't give a shit about that. This proves it once again that you don't know shit. So listen. No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there. It was no. Ah, geez. So listen.
No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there.
It was no. Ah, geez. Topped it all off. No.
I don't give a shit about that.
This proves it once again that you don't know shit. So listen.
No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there.
It was no. Ah, geez.
I don't give a shit about that.
This proves it once again that you don't know shit. So listen.
No, he didn't. I was nowhere near there.
It was no. Ah, geez. Hi guys, and welcome back to another action-packed show here, Boxing Bantz, with myself, Andy the Nightmare, and Max the Viking page. How you doing, bud?
Yes, mate, I'm all good. Sitting on the comfy of my own home.
Oh, where else have you been then?
Well, I've been out and about today.
Absolutely everywhere. And I forgot, guys, to bring over, of course, the Fighters Talk TV boxing microphone. There we go. So I hope you're all well. There's been a great action of this week. Well, we've been sort of everywhere and his wife. So first of all, it started off on Monday, of course. We were down in London for the Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou press conference. That was kind of interesting. And then, of course, after that, we were. I came home because we didn't know about the next one, which was, of course, the Joe Joyce, Dennis McCann, Sol Decree, and the friends, shall we say. They were all doing another press conference again for March 8th. And it's been quite an interesting week. So, yeah, why don't you kick us off, pal?
Well, yeah, obviously, just want to go back to Monday when we went to the Joshua Ngannou. And what a shocker from His Excellency when he mentioned he'd like to see Matchroom versus Queensbury, 5 versus 5.
I tell you what, that was a really, really interesting thing. So we were sat there live. Nobody was going to understand what was going to go on. We were, we were all sort of surprised when His Excellency came out and said, actually, I want to work closer with the guys. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do something else. And the 5 versus 5 was pretty good.
Yeah, well, just to sort of heat things up even more, I think Frank Warren put it on Eddie and went, let's have £1 million bet. I think it was brilliant. Not like there's pressure anyway, but it's had it. Let's have £1 million bet over it.
Well, that's it. Sorry, Max's head is going in and out of view, folks. He sort of put himself down to the bottom right so if he could see what he was doing, he needs to poke his sort of head up that way. There we go. That's better. That's better. Not that we all want to see blue eyes over there. Yeah, so we were talking about this. Which 5 versus 5 do you think that there's going to be?
Well, I'm just going to read what I can see in front of me, right? And I'll start at the bottom. We've got Nick Ball versus Josh Warrington.
Right.
And we've got Joe Joyce and Fabio Wardley. And we've got Anthony Yard versus Callum Smith. And Daniel Dubois versus Derek Chisora.
Okay, I mean,
Right.
and of course
And
Joshua versus Fury.
Fury,
right,
yeah.
So that's assuming that they're both going to win these two particular fights. Nothing is a foregone conclusion in the world of boxing, as you know. Nothing ever is a foregone conclusion in the world of boxing.
According to a few people, I don't think it matters if Fury lost or Joshua lost. They want the Fury and AJ fight regardless.
Well, do you know what? I think... Listen, everyone give your opinion, right? There's an awful lot of people watching around the world. We're going live out, Insta, Twitter, 2 YouTube channels, Facebook Live, and everything else. So, you can reach into the studio, guys. Do have your say. Message us on one of those platforms. And you wonder why I keep turning my head left and right. It's because... I've got lots and lots of screens all over the place. I'm just trying to keep up to it. So let's start from the top, right? Let's start from the top of that. The Joshua Fury fight. Now, this is on an assumption, right, that both Joshua and Fury are going to win their respective fights. Okay? Now, I would say in all likelihood that is going to happen.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Stranger things have happened in boxing.
Yeah, just ask Wilder. So, so let's take it straight from the top. If Joshua listen, the Saudis have been good for boxing in one way, and I want everyone's opinion on this, right? So, Saudis have been great for boxing to get these top fights made, but at what cost?
Yeah,
we discussed this the other day, and I think is it Tony Bellew who's actually brought this up? He must have been listening to my podcast because I said the same thing the other day. Now he's decided to bring it up. What is going to happen with the smaller shows?
Yeah,
and are we going to lose?
Carl Froch.
Sorry, Carl Froch. Sorry, Tone. Yeah. Don't punch me when we next see you.
Yeah, punch me instead, because that's what normally happens.
Yeah, Max is up for the punishment. So let's look at it from that side of things, right? Is it going to be at the detriment of UK boxing or world boxing, so that some of these smaller shows don't get put on in the likes of Birmingham, Sheffield, Liverpool, London? Brighton, Bournemouth, where they're going as well now.
I'll tell you what, could it be that you still get the shows in England, all over, but the major main events are going to be held out of the Saudi?
Well, I mean, that's just where the money is, isn't it? It's just where the money is. I mean, I can't imagine the Saudis are getting too much for the gates. Do you know what I mean? Every time I watch a show, it's not a big event. It's not like a 90,000 at Wembley. But I suppose when you're that rich, it don't matter if you and you're just a few mates just turn up, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's right. But I think this is it's not just boxing. The Saudis are bought into, have they? It's football, it's snooker now, golf, Formula One. They're taking over because they've got the Benjamins, all right.
Yeah. I think we talked about that. I talked about that before. But anyway, okay. So let's go back and talk about the potential Fury Joshua fight. Now, Martin Darby Clough, thank you very much for your contribution here. He says Fury loses to Usyk. I said maybe 6 years ago that Usyk cleans up the division. Now that's quite an interesting statement. Now, Fury,
Don't
I think,
upset
is...
Andy.
no, don't upset me. Everyone's got an opinion, even a wrong one, right? So Fury, okay, I think is the only heavyweight at the moment who could stop Usyk, right? But what he has to do, in my belief, is he has to Derek Chisora him, right? Chisora laid out the blueprint of how to beat Usyk, and even Daniel Dubois, to a certain degree, till you stood up on your chair, got your bollocks out, and said, "No, it ain't there."
Listen, right, there's nothing wrong with my peoples, right? They're perfect.
Oh,
right? Yeah, perfect. 2020 vision. And I could see clearly that it boxed first before it went into the stomach. So,
I could see.
good call by the
I
vet.
could see
Brilliant.
Usyk now that Jen has gone. Right, no, so he was looking at Usyk's bollocks, which is how he managed to. He managed to get that. But no, But Daniel Dubois and Derek Chisora before him actually laid out the blueprint, I believe, to actually do just that. I mean, I just think that they...
Well, Joshua nearly followed the blueprint.
Right.
And then changed all of a sudden. Clearly hurting Usyk in the second fight. And then stopped all of a sudden. And decided, I won't do his body. I'm going to take his head off, and lost. It was clearly hurting him. He weren't liking them body shots, but he stopped.
But that always amazed me. Joshua clearly has the pedigree to deal with Usyk, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think.
But
Joshua
everyone has a bogeyman, doesn't he?
Listen, I think with Joshua, I think his head was gone. I think he was mentally beaten before he even stepped in the ring on the second fight.
You think?
I think so, yeah. Because he being told you're winning the rounds when you clearly wasn't. You know what I mean? I know you got to boost your man up and that, but to blatantly lying to him, going, "Yeah, you're winning" when you ain't, and obviously was told go for the knockout. That's not the way. If you're hurting someone with body shots, in my belief, you carry it on.
Well, you'd want to, in that particular situation, you'd want a Ricky Hatton or a Barry McGuigan in your corner, wouldn't you? Because they were king of the body shots. They were.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's what if it works, stick at it. If it's not working, you change it.
But you see, I think that Fury is a different kettle of fish, right? I think his boxing brain is a lot better than Anthony Joshua. Fury is a better boxer than Joshua, but I would say that Anthony Joshua is a better fighter than Fury, right? So you got fighters and boxers. There's no and does a fighter beat a boxer? Or does a boxer beat a fighter? It's kind of one of them, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it is
about who's going to win. But clearly, Usyk is no mug, right? It clearly is not. And I love the guy. I mean, I literally love the guy. I mean, I've spoken to him. We've spoken to Alex Krasuk as well, his manager. We're still waiting for you, Alex, to get back to us because we want to come to Poland where we know he's training.
Or the Ukraine. We don't care.
Max said he'll go to the Ukraine with a big fucking helmet on. Anyway, so yeah, but I mean that's going to be an interesting fight. So let's move that one aside because at the top of them. Obviously, we don't know who it's going to be. His Excellency said it's likely to be that, and there'll be fight for Undisputed. However, I don't believe it'll be the fight for the Undisputed because I do believe that the sanctioning bodies will split the belts away from the top contenders after the Usyk Fury fight.
Yeah, would they straight away, or do they wait until after this 5 versus 5's happened?
Well, do you know what? And even then, are we talking about a rematch clause in the Usyk Fury fight? And of course, we saw some news which we don't quite believe, guys. You might not believe it as well. We have seen it released on a few websites now, but we're not sure on whether it's actually true. So we haven't released it. But it was alleged that Michael Benson released a post saying that Fury had pulled out of the fight. But
we couldn't find it on these.
We couldn't find confirmation.
You don't know whether it was deleted because it was early morning and by the time we looked at it, it might have been just deleted off it.
But it has been shared to a few social media posts, and we're not about snotty journalism. It's a case of if it was true, and it was still at Michael Benson's account, I would have actually posted it and said, let's get that out there and let's quote the source, because at the end of the day, it's quite a major, serious thing. And if somebody is suffering from mental health, because it alleged that Tyson had gone down that route again, and something in my mind is saying to me there's something not quite right, because his own dad is saying if the Tyson Fury who turned up against Ngannou turns up, he ain't going to win. I mean, this is his father. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If Tyson turns up like he did against Wilder, then it's Tyson's night.
It's all over, isn't it, really? Yeah.
But it's going to be a tricky one. You know what I mean? And I've got nothing against Fury. I think he's a character. I love him. But will his mental state play a big part in his fight with Usyk? Because Usyk is this cool, calm and collected, isn't he? He's like... He's Mr. Perfect as a fighter or boxer.
Yeah, but do you know what? He's a great human being as well. He'll make cups of tea for the lads in the press conferences. That's what he's like, right? So he gets in there, he goes, "Want a cup of tea?" and he'll go and do that. I mean, in Poland, he was juggling and dancing around and really sort of, happy-go-lucky. Do you know what I mean? He was a pleasure to be around, and it just is. It just is what it is. Anyway, let's move on, because obviously we know that there's a lot of ifs and buts and all that. Let's move on to the next fight down. Let's talk about the next heavyweights in there. So you've got Derek Chisora
and Daniel Dubois.
Right. Okay. So let's look at that situation. Derek Chisora is 102. Right, Del, I won't even say that. You sat next to Max on the plate. He did sit next to me. So Del's coming towards the end of his career. Daniel Dubois is in his mid-20s. He's coming off of a big Jarrell Big Baby Miller win, which, let's face it, was facing a 360-pound punch bag, which is what he was doing in that particular fight. Do you think it's the right time for Daniel Dubois to be challenging or fighting Derek Chisora? Guys, let me know what you think at home.
Well, I personally don't think it's a wise move.
Or do you think Del Boy's got his number, or do you think he's too brutal?
I think, can't write off the old dog. He's still got a fight in him.
I love Del Boy. I think that you can't get, as far as character in boxing, Derek War Chisora, I mean, you can't get better.
That man don't mince his words at the ring, and he certainly don't mince it in the ring. And I feel like he's probably got it over the edge over Dubois.
You think so?
Yeah. The only thing in Dubois' favour is his youth
and his engine.
Yes.
I mean, he was pounding. He was pounding on that man, and obviously the 360-pound man ain't going nowhere.
No, he's too big. Was it like 130 pounds heavier, wasn't he? Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. I mean, Martin's even agreeing with me. As much as he likes Dale, I think he gets caught and dropped, and I think he's right. I would go for a Dubois win, and I think Daniel, knowing Daniel, obviously we met him in Poland and talked to him and that. Knowing him, I think he does a number there. I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be a Queensberry win. So I think Joshua beats Fury, which is matchup for me, and a Queensberry win of Daniel Dubois. If you don't agree with me, guys, let me know at home. Tell me what you think. I know our Facebook's kind of blowing up a little bit right now, but that's perfect, guys. Bobby V335. What's that? Some sort of code, or is that your PIN number for your bank card? Yeah, send it to us. It's fine. We could do with all that. But yeah, so I'm just sort of thinking, for me, it's a Daniel Dubois. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm not changing my mind.
What was your... Well, you didn't even told us what your decision
Yeah, I'll still think Chisora.
Chisora. All right. You heard it here first. So I'll tell you what we'll do. I've got this nice pad here, Max. It's brand new. We're gonna put who we think, and then after March 8th, I'll be whoever wins buys the other one.
No, you're gonna owe me a lunch anyway.
Yeah, that's all right.
Because you reckon Joshua's gonna batter Ngannou inside 4 rounds.
I think inside of 4 rounds. Yeah, that's.
You said that about Fury gonna do that to Ngannou. Never happened.
No, well, yeah, I was surprised.
Well,
So so let me put this right: Fury or Joshua? Should it happen? Who you got?
I'm gonna go. I like to go Fury, but deep down I know it's gonna be Joshua.
You're in Josh, right? Okay. So both of us agree with that. Then you've got Del Boy.
Yeah.
For the next one, and I've got Daniel or Dubois. All right. Okay. What's the next fight? Let's wait and see what everyone. Big Baby Miller. Oh right, yeah. Big Baby Miller was 335 pounds.
Yeah, he was.
And so far, everyone's agreeing. So Joshua beats Fury, they say. And I wonder if that's because of Fury's shitty performance, against Ngannou.
Yeah, it seems to me like Fury's dropped down a peg or two, and then Joshua jumped back up it.
Well, remember, everybody that Fury and Joshua have faced, Joshua's always knocked him out, and Fury hasn't. Klitschko, Wallin, dealt with. And he dealt with Wallin, didn't he? I mean, there's no word about it.
Yeah.
Right, so Bobby Vick actually goes the other way. Fury beats Joshua. Chisora beats Daniel Dubois. Interesting. Interesting. Right, go on. Next fight on that 5v5.
I'm trying to find it. Like, it's gone.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
We're sorry about this, folks. This is the Tommy Toys version of boxing punditry.
Wait a minute. Is it on the Queensbury? Let me have a look.
It was on the Sun. Anyway, while we're talking about that, while Max is busy finding it, when we were at the press conference for obviously Joyce versus Cash and McCann versus Stood. Sorry, name escapes me now. And we've got a few good fights on there. We sat next to Gareth A. Davies. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, he's a legend in the boxing world, especially when it comes to journalism. And Max said that he's been touching my knee and I ain't ever washing my trousers.
Alright, then he's chatting me up for the Wi-Fi code.
What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you?
I said easy, it's our first date, you know.
Right, next fight. Thank you very much, Martin. Next fight, we can't be waiting for him forever. Next fight is Anthony Yarde versus Smith.
Yes, that's it, Callum Smith.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go straight in, head first. Callum Smith.
And why? Why did you say that?
I don't know, I just feel like, after watching Yarde fight and Callum fight, I just feel like Callum is the man, mate. I think he's going to school him.
You think he's the man? The man who's just received a beatdown by Artur Berbetiev.
Yeah, along with everyone else.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, I think he wins as well, but I'm just trying to put it out there that I think that give Anthony Yarde a bit of credit here.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not mocking the geezer. You know, he's a professional, but I don't think he's going to beat Callum Smith.
Well, that is an interesting take on it.
I know Callum Smith. He's a big lad, 6'4" or something. He still hits hard. He still moves fast. So for that alone, he's gonna do Yarde.
Yeah, I think so. Bobby Vick actually agrees that Smith wins. However, Martin says that if he says it's a great scrap if Yarde turns up, that turned up against Berbetiev, I think he takes it. Which is you know what, I just think Mondo's defence is too good. Do you know what I mean? Now, while we're on the subject of Berbetiev, let's have a little bit of a chat about an A finding in his test results.
Yes, and let me just quote something what I heard from Bellew today. Right. Tony Bellew was talking on TalkSport and he was talking about when he had to sort of cut weight, drain down, and all that. He was similar age. He said his testosterone was so low, it was ridiculous. And then you look at Peter BM, his testosterone is higher than some 20-year-olds.
He reckons he had more testosterone in him than the entire Smith family, didn't he?
Yeah. You know, but we are talking about the Russians here, you know. They are like a different breed.
Well, you know, in the Olympics they get banned because of blood doping accusations and all the rest of it. And it's a very, very sore subject with me.
But we've got to say something. It was tested after by VADA and found nothing. So, you know, before the fight, they was finding something, and after the fight, they found nothing.
Yeah, that's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a strange one.
You know, it wasn't like his blood went off the Richter scale or something. You know what I mean? But there's going to be questions. You know, the Smiths are obviously upset over it. And even Eubank Jr.
He's weighed into the situation.
He's weighed in on it. He
says, I ain't even Smith's mate, but I got to defend it.
Yeah, that's it. We don't see eye to eye, but I'm going to defend him here because if you're caught with steroids or HGH, instant ban for life.
Well, it goes back, right? I am, a former boxer myself. I am so anti-drugs, it's untrue. Okay? What you take, what you do for recreation outside of that boxing ring is up to you. When you are in competition or when you are an active fighter, if you are caught doping with performance-enhancing drugs, you should be banned for life.
Yeah.
Now, in the case of deliberate taking, right? And when I mean deliberate taking, I mean someone like Jarrell Miller sits there injecting himself up the backside with performance-enhancing steroids. The geezer is so big, it was like a walking wardrobe the other day, wasn't it? It was like Daniel Dubois was trying to shift a piano. Literally.
The geezer was absolutely a unit, wasn't he?
Well, he does. And it makes you wonder what the hell is going on. And this is why people who deliberately take drugs for performance enhancement products that are caught with a bare knuckle, do you know what I mean, that are down there giant. There is two sports, guys, in this world where you can legally kill somebody. And that's boxing and MMA.
Yeah.
Okay? It realistically is. I mean, you can have wrestling if you like, but these contact sports is where people actually die in there. So when you take a drug to enhance that performance, you should be banned for a hefty amount. And a massive fine, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so,
listen, Tony Bellew said it last year. He said anyone caught with steroids should be banned for life.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Now, that means I'm going to be unpopular with the Fury fans because obviously there's been some clause from Vladimir Klitschko saying, hang on a minute, pal, before our fight you were caught and banned for a substance in your body which you blamed on a wild boar.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Which the farmer backed him up.
Farmer found someone who sat there in a field going, "I eat my carrots, I do, and I'll tell you he took my wild boar, the bastard." At the end of the day, there's been you've got people like Conor Benn who's been caught allegedly.
Yeah, well, tell you what, Bellew stuck up for him, saying about was it a lot of female pregnancy fucking drug or something, wasn't it? Something to do with that, and he said, mistakes happen, but he ain't the only one.
No, and he can't blame it on eggs. Let's put it that way.
No, well, they did mention the eggs.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's been in a fight game, or anyone who's actually a training athlete, will know that you eat a heck of a lot of eggs, and he's the only person that's ever been caught eating the eggs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? I know Connor. You know Connor. We've met him several times. Nice guy, absolute nice guy. But do you know what? I wonder if he'd been set up. Because I said that to him, didn't I? I said, you can't trust anyone around you. When that happens...
Yeah, well, listen, we even mentioned it going like when you go to a restaurant, like you don't know whether you've been stitched up. You know, they
Yeah.
put something in your food, and
Yeah,
they
and the
put
fact
something
it
in the
was such a
drink.
tiny trace, it could have been just drip, drip in some water, couldn't it? I'll fuck him up.
Yeah, I
Do you
tell
know
you
what I
what, it
mean?
could have been the chef sweated, dripped into his food as they, you know, anything. It might sound stupid, but
Yeah.
it happens, doesn't it?
It does. It does happen, and it's
Even
like right.
like shaking someone's hand, they could have had something on their hand, shook it, and it's now absorbed into your skin.
Well, that's it. That's it. I just think that it's one of them. I mean, Connor is fighting February 3rd, Las Vegas. Obviously, we know Johnny Fisher is flying out there. George Liddard, they're all on the undercard of that. I think also Jimmy Sains is on the card as well. So
Yeah, it
massive kudos
is.
to those
Yeah.
guys out there. Go and get the win for the Brits and bring it back. So let's move on. Who's next on the fight card? And I bet you still haven't found it, have you?
No, I ain't found that one, but I remember it's Nick Ball and Josh Warrington.
That's an interesting one because Josh Warrington's an animal, right?
Yeah, so's Nick Ball.
I know, right? So Josh Warrington is an absolute animal, and he did a really good fight to Leewood right until the very end when he got caught, and then obviously
Yeah.
you see size matters.
Yes, definitely. But I'm just gonna pass judgment here. With Josh Warrington, he's sort of like a wildfire, isn't he? You know what I mean? But that Nick Ball, he's sort of quite calm, collected. I
Mm.
think he sort of waits for his opportunity and then hits you, and you don't know where you are after that.
Well,
But
at
I'm not,
hospital normally.
yeah, I know for me, not taking anything away from Josh Warrington, fantastic fighter. But for me, I'm gonna go Nick Ball because he has been nicknamed the Mini Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb.
You're gonna go Josh Warrington, aren't
Yeah, but I like Josh. I don't know if I should take it personally, right? I ain't going to take it personally. But I do like Josh, and I am going to go Josh. So, just to clarify that, right? Both of us are going Smith in the other fight, right? I'm going Warrington,
Yeah,
and you are going Ball, right? And
yeah.
what's the last fight then, mate?
Well, I can't remember the actual last fight, but I'm looking at a different picture here, and this is the one that I've said from the off, right? You know what I'm gonna say, didn't you?
Go on.
Moses
Atuma,
Atuma versus
Johnny
Johnny
Fisher.
Fisher.
That ain't never going to happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce won't be on that fight. Joe Joyce is fighting on the 8th of March.
Yeah, he's not on that fight. No, he's
Because he
fighting
was
8th
at
of
the press
March.
conference the other day, so he's not going to be on that. I can't remember the last one. You should have had it to hand. What's going on?
Oh, I did. I just literally looked at my phone with these laser blue eyes, and it just disappeared.
What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit.
I can't find that picture now.
Oh dear, guys, we are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So I do apologise about us being completely not in control. It's totally Max's fault.
Yeah, just blame me. It's been the story of my life. I've been blamed for absolutely
Right,
everything.
okay. Yes, it is Joe Joyce versus Fabio Wardley. Now, they've put that in as a potential fight, but we know it ain't going to happen because obviously we were at the press conference yesterday when it's announced that Joe Joyce is fighting Cash Ali.
Yeah.
Mr. Bite a chunk out of David Price, man. So, as we know that's not going to happen, I think that, let's put that Ituma fighting, but I don't see him fighting Johnny Fisher because Johnny Fisher is fighting on February 3rd and won't be ready for a month and a half later.
Yeah, but if there was available, as much as I like Johnny Fisher, but I feel like that Moses, mate, he's
What do you
he's the
mean
man.
What do you mean if they were available? If my nan had bollocks, she'd be my granddad. Well,
Yeah.
he's just not available.
Well, that's what I'd pick because I said it from the off. As soon as it was announced, 5 versus 5, that was the first 2 fighters I said.
Oh dear, what is wrong with you? What is wrong
Oh,
with
a
you?
lot apparently.
Well, to me, I mean, it's just a difficult one, isn't it? Really, It's just a
Yeah,
difficult one.
I'll tell you what would be a good fight. That Sol Dequez.
He's also not going to be able to fight because he's
No,
also
I'm
on
not.
the March
No,
undercard.
I'm not talking about that 5-on-5. I'm just looking at Johnny Fisher, who's the Southern Area champion.
Facing the English champion, Solder Crease. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
No, he want him to fight Daniel Adelaide, don't they? In the Frank was saying yesterday.
Yes, but he weren't there. He's still suspended from punching the ref. after Waldley beat him up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with your decision, referee. Let me just punch you in the eye.
Yeah, but I think there's this bad blood between them two because it all kicked off on the Fury and then Garno, didn't it? Outside.
Well, we were at that press conference and it came sort of rooting through, didn't it? That all of a sudden that there was a big punch up outside and it was like, wow.
Yeah, because Fabio
Really?
got cut eye, cut chin, and that, didn't he?
He did, and
Listen.
went out and weighed him in.
Yeah,
as a
karma
direct
come back
result.
round.
Yeah, and he did weigh him in as well, didn't he? So
Yeah.
it's certainly going to be interesting. Anyway, so let's move on to the Magnificent Seven, right? Let's move on to the Magnificent Seven. So we were at the press conference yesterday when it was announced for the Magnificent Seven, a Queensbury show. They went down really well. It's like the Magnificent Seven is very similar to Matchroom's Next Gen shows. I thought it was quite a good lineup, really.
Yes.
You know, Haney versus Pauls, Robles versus Davis, Joyce versus Ali, Solomon Decrees, hopefully Daniel Adelaide.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's it. McCann versus Strand and James versus Cooper. And it was quite a good, some good title fights on the line there. And it's going to be in Birmingham on the 16th of March. So that's how we know that Decrees or Dacre and of course, so I do apologise, Sol, if we pronounce the name wrong. And of course, Joe Joyce will not be fighting the 5-on-5.
Yeah.
So I think...
Let's talk about a machine. Let's talk about Joe Opataya.
I want to talk about the Magnificent Seven first.
All right.
All right. All right, son.
I just see him. I was like, oh, let's talk about him.
Haney versus Pauls, right? So obviously Haney is the champion, and I have to say when I saw, it was the first time I see him with a moustache.
Yeah.
It did throw me just slightly, and he's such a gentleman, a really nice chap, and a good kind of exchange at the top there. Pauls is coming to change his life. He wants to take what Nathan Haney has got, and I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening. I think Haney's might be just a little bit too much for him. But we never know. It depends on the night and who turns up, I think.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about Joyce Ali, right? Now, Big Joe Joyce, nice guy, really pleasant chap to talk to.
Was it over got your bulletproof balaclava on, isn't it?
Might get a chunk bitten out of him by Cash Ali, who wasn't there at the press conference yesterday. Do you know what? When he took a chunk out of David Price, I thought, what an animal. Do you know what I mean? That's not how you behave, is it? Did you not have no dinner? I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't. And there was a few little quick jokes yesterday that we were all sort of laughing at and everything. But I don't see how Cash can win that. No. I just can't. I just don't see it. I mean, unless I'm wrong, folks. If you think I'm wrong back at home, you let me know. But I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I think, obviously, Joyce is coming back from the loss against Zhilei Zhang. And I think he's got a little bit to prove. Like, he's still got it in him, a bit more dog in him. You know what I mean? Because there was rumours of Joyce sort of retiring, but he rubbished them rumours yesterday and went, no. I've still got a good few fights in me. So I think he's got a statement to make.
Well, he said he wants to actually win a title. And if they fracture the titles, that's the only way.
Yeah.
I don't see him beating Usyk. I don't see him beating Joshua. I don't see him beating Fury.
And I don't see him beating Zhang either for his belt.
No, I don't see him doing that.
Zhang loses against Parker and then Joyce jumps all over Parker. Who knows?
Joyce has beat Parker.
Well, then that could be his pathway to a belt if Parker wins.
Well, yeah, that is the thought and that is the theory. Anyway, anything else you want to bring up before we bring our live show to an end?
Yeah, I want to talk about Jay Opataya.
Oh, what? Go on.
Yes. Listen, that man is a machine, right? I put a post up, didn't I? Let me find it just so I can show you. Hold tight, fellas.
Yeah, everyone go to sleep.
Yeah, that's it. Right. I put a post up saying who was the greatest in this picture. I got Arthur Biev, Dmitry Bivol, or Jay Opataya, right? And me, I think Opataya beats both of them.
Yeah, that's because he's a higher weight division. I mean, Jay Opataya is a world cruiserweight champion who was stripped by the IBF for absolutely no reason. And Bertabiev and Bivol are light heavyweights.
Trying to mug me off.
Not trying to mug you off, I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah.
Jay Opataya, when I spoke to Jay, when I interviewed Jay, he wants to step up to the heavyweight division. Yeah. He's no way going to drop down to light heavy.
Well, listen, if there's a chance to take 6 belts off someone, I'm sure he would jump down there.
Listen, it's about the Benjamins.
Listen, there's Benjamins behind there. He ain't going to jump up to heavyweight.
Well, I think he's too small.
Yeah. So why can't he come down a bit?
I don't know. I mean, I think he smashes both of them.
Yeah, that's what my point is. And you jumped in and went, no, you prick, you're fucking different weights.
Hang on a minute. I didn't call you a prick. I just know it. Yeah, Martin actually says Jay beats both of them down. He will go up very soon. Yeah, I totally agree. I think Jay Opataya will smash the granny out the pair of them.
Why couldn't Opataya drop down, take all their belts, and then go up and take a few belts, do like an Usyk?
Because Usyk didn't go down.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is cruiserweight, and then went up to heavyweight and got the belts.
Hang on, you're talking cruiserweight coming down to lightweight, going up to heavyweight, right? And that's someone like Jordan Thompson, who got battered by Jay Opataya, couldn't do that, right? And he's 6'6" and skinny. Yeah, Jay Opataya is an absolute unit. He is an absolute unit. There's no two ways about it.
He's got some scary eyes, man.
Yeah, no, I actually found him quite nice. I mean, when he was talking to me.
Listen, these eyes look like they're on you. He's got like Bellew eyes. Look like he's just got to switch and just rip your head off.
As he might have done if he didn't let him get parked in Liverpool that time.
Yeah, you know, isn't it? There's no room in here, boys. Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
You want some?
Yes, Mr. Bellew, anything you say. No, I just think it's... For me, I think Jay Opataya is the best cruiserweight out there. I think, I think he takes that. I think he may unify that division, but I don't think he goes down. I really don't. I just think it would be like, and I also think if the other two came up, they would get the same results Canelo did when he went up from into light heavy. I mean, Bivol was just too big. It was just too big, too clever. And to be honest, I think at that point it was very humbling for Canelo. But, love the Canelo. I think he's great. Oh, I mean, Saul Alvarez, one of the best ever.
Do you think if they fought now, do you think it'd be a different outcome, or do you think Bivol still smashes him?
I think Bivol still would win. Canelo's coming towards the end. The guy's been boxing professionally since he was 15 years old. Comes from Guadalajara, Mexico. By the time he was 20, he was in his 30th fight. I mean, the body will only take so much, and Canelo is unbelievable. However, it is like the river, one step over the river quite too far. I'm going to give you 3, and I want you guys, everybody at home, to vote. And this is the end vote that we're going to have. And this is a discussion that we have quite often. Right? If you're going to put a pound for pound list together, okay, I'm going to give you 3 athletes, and I want to know who would make it in your pound for pound list if they stay undefeated. Numero uno, Rocky Marciano. 49 fights, 49 wins, no defeats. Okay. Number 2, Floyd Mayweather Jr. 50 fights, no losses. Now, let's take into account a couple of them were monkey fights, if you like.
Like about 5 of them.
Exactly, and that. And then
Well,
the last one is a current fighter. Okay, and let's just say he wins on February 17th, Alexander Usyk, and becomes not only the undisputed cruiserweight champion, but the undisputed heavyweight champion. Now, you have 3 fighters there, guys, from 3 different eras. Who do you pick and why as the pound for pound great? Max, tell me.
Well,
At the 3, which ones in order? 1 to 3.
what you've just picked?
Marciano, Floyd Mayweather, Usyk if he beats Fury. Pound for pound, best.
I'll say Rocky, Usyk, and I suppose I have to have Mayweather since you picked him.
Yeah, well, that was the choices.
Yeah, but I don't rate Mayweather. He might have this 50-0, but I don't rate him as a boxer. I think he runs around a ring. I don't really like him.
Yeah, but is that a personal opinion?
Yeah, I just don't like him as a fighter or as a person.
Okay, it's
I
interesting.
don't think you should even put him in there.
Now,
You should have had Terence Crawford instead of Mayweather.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't know. No, I don't agree. I don't agree. Now, argument with Mayweather is: does he fight everyone past his best? Has he, he's he fights the right people at the right times. I kind of get that. So my reasoning if Usyk beats Fury, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion for what it's worth, he will be the pound for pound best ever, in my opinion. Because you can't drop down weight divisions in the heavyweight division, right? Very difficult. You become undisputed in the cruiserweight. It will become undisputed in the heavyweight. And there's really no one to touch him. And he would have done it in under 25 fights. Do you know what I mean? That's never, ever, 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 ever been done before so quickly. And Olympic gold medalist as well. So that, to me, would make him...
And about 300 amateur fights as well.
Yeah.
Stick on top of all that.
Yeah, but that, for me, would make him, pound for pound, the greatest. Now,
Ever.
A lot of people will argue, there's Muhammad Ali, he was the greatest ever. I don't believe he was. I believe he was a wonderful champion, and I believe he set the stone that was there to be crossed. Okay? And I do understand.
Ali had great charisma, mate. He did. He had character, charisma. He had it all. He was a showman.
He was. And he was. I am the greatest. Now, it's because you convinced everybody or told everybody you were. Now, Do I think he did a lot for boxing? Absolutely. Did he free oppression? Absolutely. Did he stand up for his rights? Absolutely. He did everything right. However, he is not, in my opinion, the greatest boxer. And he would not make the top 3 for me.
Nah.
The 3 I've mentioned have.
He'd been the top 10, or possibly borderline top 5.
There's an argument for that.
Yeah.
However, if Usyk does not beat Fury, switch him.
Yeah.
Because I think there's an argument that I would put Fury second after Marciano. Right? Because I just think that the credentials of Usyk for winning undisputed in cruiserweight would give him that to make him number 1.
Yeah,
and Fury's never going to do that.
Yeah, 'cause, well, he's far too big anyway to even go down that way.
I mean, Fury's that big. He'd
So-
probably punch Rocky Marciano now. He can punch back in time. It's that big he is. I just think for me, the Fury would be a second to Marciano, and I'll tell you why. In the days of Rocky Marciano, the best fought the best, and I think it was the one belt era, one or two belt era. So I think you
Well,
have.
considering he started boxing late, didn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
in his
he's
20s,
like
wasn't he?
mid-20s. Yes, he's mid-20s, and he didn't give a toss who he fought. He was in there and he battered them.
And that's how it was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It wasn't none of
guys,
this-
I think we're going to end the show there. Thank you very much for watching. Now, if you ever want to watch free boxing content, go to fttvboxing.com. We have got documentaries, we've got boxing matches galore. Everything that goes on inside the world of boxing is absolutely free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free boxing content. FTTV Boxing is the new free boxing content news network anywhere in the world that you can watch it and enjoy our shows that we put out and all the content and everything else. And I think what's on right now, Max, have you had a little look to see? Just tell the folks at home what you can see right now if you tune into FTTV Boxing. You don't have to subscribe, you don't have to log in, you don't have to absolutely do a damn thing apart from type fttvboxing.com into your search bar and you should see I have got a big page. It's the FBI sting on pro boxing. So, yeah, this was all about the IBF. And then we've got Floyd Patterson coming up after that. There's a full fight between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko on the other channel. Best boxing fights.
Yeah, there's a great mixture of fights, from modern to old school and all that. And
absolutely.
And the documentaries.
Yeah, guys, and we are working on a new thing, so a new border and stuff for it, so don't worry about that. But you can simply make it full screen, enjoy the show, watch it 24 hours a day, advert free, and it doesn't cost you a copper coin. FTTVboxing.com. Go there, be square. So thanks very much, pal, and we'll see you again Sunday night, 9:30 in the UK. I think it's 5:30 in Eastern Standard Time, so that's New York City, and I think it's 1:30 p.m. In Las Vegas and that side of the country. And it'll be wonderful to see you all there. Thank you very, very much for joining us. My name's Andy, the Nightmare Reeve, and Max, the Viking Page, and we will see you again Sunday night. So don't forget, tune in.